This is the brand new Neewer DL400 motorized camera dolly. It will let you get creative shots with your mirrorless cameras, action cameras, or even your Osmo Pocket 3. And I also found a way to hack it and make it act more like a slider. So even if you just bought one of these, or you have a DL300 or maybe a 200, I've got some exciting information because this is Blue Collar Guy. Okay, we're back. So today we're talking about the Neewer DL400 motorized camera dolly. And by the way, if you're new to Blue Collar Guy, we tend to talk about things on this channel that other YouTubers don't. This video is not sponsored and I paid for this device with my own money. I bought it on Amazon in Canada for $222 less $90 coupon, so about $150 after tax. I managed to hack, and I use that term very lightly because it is a web-based software thanks to Everlast Engineering. Why? We'll talk about more of that later in the video. Okay, so let's unbox this thing. And so far we've got the machine, we have a removable battery, it's a bronze color, the machine is made of metal, it comes in a zipper case, there are some instructions, and it has adjustable ball head, and a USB-A to USB-C adapter, and it also has a GoPro style mount that's included as well. It even has a phone mount. Okay. The unit weighs a hefty 1.7 kilograms or 3 pounds 12 ounces without the battery, and it is 9 inches long and 5 3/4 inches wide. It is very well built, all metal construction with real rubber tires instead of a metal O-ring. And I'm just going to talk about the Neewer 3-wheel. Okay, so this is the comparison of the Neewer 3-wheel motorized camera dolly, and this is a remote that comes with it. And I just want to show you a comparison between the two devices. This is night and day. This has an internal battery, and this has an external battery that is swappable. These are two completely different machines. Like, look at the tires on this one. This one is run by a single motor, by the way, and this one has two motors, and they're back here. These are the motors back here. It is not four-wheel drive, but these are free spinning wheels over here. Okay, so I'm just going to put this away. Because it has removable batteries, you no longer are limited to the internal battery like the 3-wheel counterpart. It also feels more stable with heavier loads because of its own heft. It has horizontal load capacity of 3 kilos or 6 pounds 10 ounces, which makes it more than capable and versatile for the Osmo Pocket 3. Why would I choose the Osmo Pocket 3 over a mirrorless camera on here? Well, I plan on elevating it with a selfie pole. And given the fact that the Pocket 3 is very lightweight and it is not likely to tip over, it also has a built-in gimbal to further smooth out the footage. Because as you know, when you put a pole up, it can wobble a bit. The DL400 is a big improvement over its predecessor, mainly because of the swappable 7.2 volt NP batteries and the 2.5-inch solid rubber tires, capable of going over carpet and rough concrete surfaces. The front buttons are all metal and will last a very long time. You can charge the batteries in the unit or purchase the separate battery. I already have a charger and extra batteries because I use the same batteries on my camera monitors. It has a noise level so low, ambient noise in my apartment is higher than the noise that comes out of this device, which is less than 50 dB SPL. And that was on the fastest setting. The motors are very quiet. My Neewer 3-wheel model is noisier when put on high speed and about the same on low speed. When I put my Osmo Pocket 3 on it with my Telesin extension stick, I did 28 inches in height. The results are pretty good. You do have to be aware that even though the camera dolly can go over most terrain, it doesn't have a suspension system on it, so the gimbal can only smooth out so much. laying down a smooth sheet of plastic or any other smooth surface such as plywood will fix the problem. You can also adjust the angle for the circular movement as well. I know this sounds like a glowing review, but what's wrong with this thing? Well, it's the app. The app is very limited and needs a big update because it only lets you control the forward and reverse, and it'll let you do some time-lapse stuff if you're putting up a mirrorless camera for time-lapse photography. It doesn't do ping pong like a camera slider where it goes to a set point and then back. I think Neewer needs to fix this right away because for some people this could be a deal breaker, and I'm one of them. One of the reasons why I don't like the Neewer model is because I have to babysit it for the back and forth movement. If you're putting this on a table, it could fall off. You might have a $4,000 camera mounted on top of that thing. Even on the floor, it can hit up against a wall and the tires will just keep spinning. This isn't good for the unit, and it's not good for maybe your camera. So I found a fix for my problem on a website that was originally designed for a DL300, but works great on the DL400 and also the 200. This will let you set timed endpoints so you can loop them, and then you can also put in an execution protocol. Simply pair it with your Bluetooth, connect it, and I pinned it to my home screen so I could easily find the website easier. It has lots of extra control features, ramping up the speed, slowing it down, even has super slow-mo mode. Main movements are great. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the different ways you can control this device. So right now I've got it on number 1, you've got number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5, 5 being the fastest. It will ramp up and it will ramp down as far as it's not going to just kick into high gear. It will ramp up to that speed and it will ramp down to that speed. So I'm going to put it at number 1 and I'm going to hit this arrow to make it go forward. If I want it to stop, just hit the power button. I can hit this, make it go backward, and it'll stop. If I go to number 2, it's just going to go a little bit faster. This is number 2, a little bit faster, stop, stop, and then back again, and there we go. And then if I hit number 3, make it go forward, it's going to go a little bit faster. It's going to ramp up. See that? How it starts to ramp up? It starts off slow, and then it starts to ramp up. And now it's going to ramp up. It's going to go up to the 3rd speed. And then number 4 and 5 are much quicker. And I don't have enough desk here to demonstrate 4 or 5. So you get the idea. Now, the other thing is you can control it with the app. So I'm just going to look for the app on my phone here. Right here. Okay, so now you can control it with the app. This is the app that comes with it. This is the Neewer app. Okay. And says it's loading device, scanning devices for available and connected. Please wait a moment. Connection. Okay, so now I can control it with the phone. I can go this way. I can stop. I can go this way. I can stop. Okay. And I can go back this way. And I can stop. Alright, and that's pretty much all you can do on the app, except for if you go to live video, now you can do a time distance, but only in one direction. There is no start and stop point. You can set your run times here, and it has to be a minimum distance of 66 centimeters. It won't go any lower than that. The other thing you can do on the phone is you can do the time lapse. So the time lapse lets you control the shutter speed, frame by frame duration, number of shots, endpoints, and then you can start shooting and it'll just stop and take a shot and go from there. That's all well and good. But if you wanted it just to go back a certain point and stop and then automatically go back and do a loop, you can't do it on this app. So how do you fix this problem? So now I'm going to go out of this app and I'm going to go to my little hack. And this is all thanks to that company that made the information and made this Bluetooth, and I'm going to put a link in the description. So this is what it looks like. It kind of looks like a web page, but But if you zoom up and you'll see a little tiny thing here called connect right there. So you hit that little button, and then it's going to scan for it. And then once it finds it, it will pair it. And I don't know why it's not finding it, but it should. Maybe if I turn it on and off, it's probably because it's connected to the other app. That's why. I've caused a bit of an interference. Okay, so if you've already connected it to your Neewer app, you have to power it off, power it back on, and then it will automatically recognize it here. I click on that, I highlight it under DL400, I hit pair. Now I've got super slow mode, and there's my settings here, and I've got my period of this is the ping pong one. This is where you can set it to go back and forth. So I've got time travel for 4,000 milliseconds, and he's got it very precisely engineered for 4,000 milliseconds, and stop at 4,000 milliseconds. And it can go left and right repeatedly. See, it's already moving. And it's going to stop, and then it's going to come back and it's going to go this way. Okay? And then it's going to stop, and then it's going to go back that way. That's exactly what you want out of a camera slider. You want it to go back and forth. I'm going to just move it over a little bit so it's more in the center of the camera. And you can also adjust super slow-mo and different angles and all the rest of that stuff. You can't do that with the Neewer app. It just can't be done that way. So the page looks a little bit, plain, and it is originally designed for the DL200, but it moves, it does everything. It fixes the duration of the movements, minus and plus keys. It's got testing. It's got main movements, if you just want to go the right and the left again. You've got your emergency stop. You got an emergency stop button, so if I hit that, it stops it right away. This is a wonderful fix to the problem. I am very grateful for Everlast Engineering for creating that and creating the website. I will also include the video for that in my description along with the Bluetooth controls. Keep in mind that he used a DL200 in the demonstration, but it does work with the DL400. I also think that Neewer should make a Bluetooth remote control give all the same features that Everlast Engineering had fixed. My conclusions for this device is that it is exceptionally well built, well priced, and that I like that it has a carrying case. I would have considered sending it back if I wasn't able to hack the controls. The other recommendation would be to install sensors on the bottom so that if you did put it on a table, it's not going to drive off or slam into a wall. Robot vacuums can do this, right? This unit can, in effect, take the place of a much more expensive camera slider for a fraction of the cost, and it is much more portable. You could easily transport it in a backpack, no problem. I hope this video has helped you in your creative endeavors, and consider subscribing and liking so we can continue to go through this camera journey together. If you need any help, let me know in the comments. If Neewer is watching this video, I'd like to give them some ideas on their next generation model. They can contact me at bluecollarguy.ca@gmail.com. No solicitors, please. I will just block you. Take care, be safe at work, and I will see you at the next video. Bye.
How could they say you made me come